G'day everyone. Got to be a full cast today. It's going to actually be more people adding to us. I've got some latecomers, but starting from the top today, we've got Axel TV. Came second in the Tarkov Punisher Tournament. Directly above me was my offsider, the legend Dan Gheesling. Also top right, Ghost Freak 66. To that side, we've got Glorious E, Sigma on this side, Veritas down there, and just rocked up Landmark. Full panel here today. Landmark won the Tarkov Punisher Tournament, and that side, Glorious E came third. So we've got first, second, third. We've got Dan Gheesling, who was my offsider casting it, Veritas, Sigma, and Ghost Freak from the team. Anton might be a little bit late, and we also have Smizzle, who's all over the stats and that side of the tournament. So welcome, everyone. How is everyone going?
Amazing, awesome. Man.
Just dandy.
It's been exciting to see all the excitement after the event, for sure.
I had a lot of positive feedback, so I'm really great. It's really great to hear that. There was a lot of time that went into organizing it. I got some really exciting feedback from Battlestate Games that I'm going to bring up a little bit later regarding future tournaments, because it's really exciting. And now we've all been moved around. We lost Landmark.
Abort.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. So we'll start off with the tournament itself. How did you guys find it?
Amazing, to be honest.
Fun.
Amazing, to be honest.
It was a lot of fun.
Elaborate.
Sweaty. Very, very sweaty.
It was sweaty, yes.
There was
it went really smooth.
Yeah, so there was a lot of pre-planning to make sure. Okay, so I'll give you the process on how I started the idea of the tournament and then how it came to fruition. So for me, I used to love get as many PMC kills as I could in 3 hours, based off the old Punisher Part 6, which used to be 3 hours, kill as many bears as you could. It used to be kill 35 bears in 3 hours. And Veritas will remember this. Tweak would definitely remember if he's listening or around. We did it a couple of times later, probably about a year or two ago, where I think Veritas got about 120 kills. I got 113. And it was all just about throwing yourself in a factory, having a heap of fun. And I was like, constant action is what people like to watch. So what if I made a tournament based around that? So I thought, I want it to be an even playing field. Might be a lot of luck or RNG involved, but an even playing field. So everyone, brand new account, which had its own variables in that, because that's actually quite difficult when it's late in a wipe and there's a lot of people with really good gear. So brand new account, same variables as in 3 hours, and no help from other people, and let's see how many kills we can get. So that was how the idea came about. I started asking around who would be interested in getting involved in it, and then we made what we made. So we'll start with Glorious. Did you have a strategy going into the tournament?
To be honest, no. I just went in. Like, it was my chat who said, you should join the tournament. And I was like, all right, let me do it for you guys. And I did it. And I didn't even practice or anything. Like, I'm a main lab player, so I didn't even play factory at all up to the tournament. So I was like, all right, let me do it for you guys. And I did it, you know? So I didn't have any plans or anything. I was like, let's just go.
Wow.
What was the reaction like of your chat after it was over? Either like right after or the next day?
They were pretty, like, they all were hyped. Like, they didn't expect it because we didn't even talk about it. Like, it was like, all right, let's just go into it. And it went pretty good for some reason. I was pretty shocked, to be honest. But of course, I have played Factory before, but like up to the tournament and all that, I haven't touched Factory at all.
So
that was pretty fun.
Over the 3 hour period, how much of that 3 hour period did you have, like, I'm going to call it like a slump period where you weren't really getting many kills? It was like, was it the start? Did you have one at the start or in the middle or anything?
The start was so bad. Like, I didn't think about any plans. So I was really slow by looting and trying to survive, tryharding. So like, it was really rough at the start, and managed the stash, all that. I wasted so much time that I was so much behind. And that's why, like, when I say I didn't have 6 games, like they had 6 games more than me, that was actually my own fault. Like, there was no reason, there were no excuses. Like, I just wasted too much time, and that's what backslashed me afterwards.
Yeah.
Like at the end.
We'll definitely talk more about the strategy throughout the tournament. But Axel, before, did you have a pre-game strategy? Did you do a rehearsal at all? Did you do like a practice run through?
I think the most important thing for me was understanding the economics, just not losing everything in one go and sitting there and having nothing to go into raid with. And yeah, I was thinking if I show, like, the only choice for me was either an SKS or a Keter, and I went with Keter. I can later explain why, but no, I didn't practice much and not much strategy either.
Yeah. You guys did extremely well, by the way. And Landmark coming out with the crown. I had your stream up a fair bit throughout it because you were right either at first or very close to throughout the majority of the competition. I know you did a practice run. You got 68 kills. Were you maintaining the same strategy going in?
Yeah, I mean, same thing. I thought the only viable guns to start with were the SKS and the MP5. Probably SKS probably a little bit better. So start off with that. Try to get a nice little one tap on someone, and then snowball. Take the gear you get and keep it rolling.
Yeah, you had a killer start, man. Like your first two raids really set you up for the whole competition.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like blinked and you had big boy guns immediately.
Yeah, the first guy I killed was he had some stuff, so that helped out a lot.
Over the tournament, I know Veritas, you started off pretty rough, but you did actually get a fair bit of momentum towards later on. Going from the perspective of someone who actually had a fairly rough start, do you like the fact that there was a lot of not RNG, but a lot of dependence on the start of the tournament going well?
I mean, I think that there's probably some tweaks that you could make to the format to make that a little bit better. It was interesting. You really only came across, in my opinion, 2 enemies. Another one of the streamers who's like level 2 standard account. You could tell that they had a P.A.K.A. and an SKS. It was like, okay, that they're in the competition. Or it was like a level 65 dude with like Fort Alton who was just trying to hunt streamers. So it was like there really wasn't a ton of chance, I think, to get super good loot. The most interesting part was right after it ended, I played for another hour in Factory, and I all of a sudden started coming across 3 men and was killing them. Everybody had gear. Everybody was oblivious and not good. But during the competition, everybody was a god, and everybody was either one of those 2 people. There were no squads. There were no groups that I came across, at least. But yeah.
It was actually really cool that
Doesn't like it.
it was really cool that there was so much streamer on streamer action. That was actually one of the exciting things I saw. And moving into a future tournament, I really want to enforce making that possible the entire tournament. So I'll talk about that a bit more later. But I know there was a lot of people, and I've got definitely the ones that performed a lot, like really well on the podcast today. There would definitely be some people that would be sitting there going, I had the most shocking start, 5 raids in a row, got bent over, fucked in the ass, and now I am like sitting there, I got FPS, with like 4,000 rubles, 12 health, and a bleed. What do I do? It was like, I felt bad for those people because I didn't really have any way of trying to make it so they could actually restart. But that's just the format of the tournament, unfortunately, of how I've had it. But yeah.
Isn't that where just head eyes comes in? I mean, like if everyone starts the same and some people, like I'd never seen Landmark play before, and right on the main screen, I'm like, this dude is a Terminator. Like I'd never seen anything like that. And he didn't, I think the interesting part of the tournament is that, like you said, everyone started the same. So, the fact that he was able to do that, I think speaks to the skill, and I think, and I don't know, it'd be interesting to hear like Axel and Glorious, like, did they have such a fast start? I don't know, if some people started fast and fell off because we could only see the one at a time. But I was just super impressed that like, I just had never seen something like that.
Well, we know Gotcha and Deadly Slob had a really great start, for example. But they about an hour in, they had a couple of bad runs in a row, and you saw for the rest of the tournament, they only had maybe extra 5 to 10 kills for the next 2 hours. Yet they're at the 1 hour mark, they're on 20 kills. So it is interesting. Sigma, you were watching. Did you because you would have seen a lot of other perspectives than us just here? Did you notice anything? Any strategies that worked well early on, or any ways that people redeemed from a bad situation?
I mean, I couldn't help but laugh. I felt bad for Aqua, but I couldn't help but laugh because there were a few people who got into those situations that once they went in, they were like, this is the one, and then they would die, and you would see that look come across their face of, wait, I just brought out like what I had. Some of them just went immediately into selling a bunch of things, just trying to get back some type of money, As far as strategy went, I think it was just try to have fun with it. The ones that started falling just tried to start having fun with it. I know everybody went into it pretty much serious, but you could see that they were just happy to be there, which was really cool.
Ghost, did you get an opportunity to watch the tournament?
I catched a few of the games, but I was just like, it was so hard where I was. There was like no signal or nothing. So I caught a little bit of the, chats and everything, and I missed out pretty much the whole end.
I wish I could have seen you in it.
Thank God. That would have guaranteed one more spot down the leaderboard. So thank you, Ghost.
I mean, I would have been at the bottom.
That's true.
Did you guys have any surprises on people that you thought would have done really well that fell short or got unlucky and stuff like that?
Dan Exert.
I mean, I had Veritas in my top 5, and I was joking with them but if it were to happen again, I'd put him in my top 5 again. But I think it played to what you said early, the tournament, like the snowball. I don't want to speak for Veritas, but I'd imagine the snowball, you just never got it going.
I started a little, like the first three raids, I think I went in with an SKS, like peeked someone in the hallway, didn't even really get a shot off, and I died. So it's like you lose 3 SKSs, 3 sets of armor, contacts, and meds, and it's like, then it's kind of tough. Then I pulled out the TAWs and ended up getting a couple kills, but it takes, at that point, like I said, if everybody is consistent from then on, I'm already 5-6 kills behind whoever the leader is, right? So and all that gear behind. So it's definitely snowball effect for sure.
What about Quattro? What happened with Quattro? He was pretty unlucky as well, wasn't he?
So he had a really bad start, and it was almost like Veritas was saying, where he just kept running into really geared people. He got to the point where he was running in with no gear against nothing but geared people, couldn't find a gun to save his life, and it just got to the point where I didn't know what he finished on, 11 kills, I think it was, which for Quattro is like 2 raids of labs.
Yeah, pretty much, to be honest.
Was there any standout people that you guys were like, holy crap, that guy did awesome? Or like,
I mean, Hyper Rat for sure.
Yep. It was really cool to see. Sorry, go.
Yeah, Tweak.
Yeah, Tweak killed it.
Tweak done super well, in my opinion.
I'm disappointed that Warren let me one-tap him in the face when he had fort armor and an RPK, and I had a stock Vepr with PS ammo and no iron sights. I expected more, bud.
Oof.
Oh gosh.
Storyline's developing for the second tournament already. I can see it.
He's gonna fuck you so hard.
It's still like 10-3 on all the times we've ever met in factory. So
I'm shocked that anybody is surprised that Tweak did as well as he did, because Tweak is a damn beast.
He's played the game a lot, and I think one of the major factors I said to people was when it comes to a tournament and competitions, muscle memory is what you rely on the most, because when you're like worried about things, like you can see when Landmark goes around a corner, his mouse is always where the head's going to be, and like that's not when you're more nervous or anything like that. It doesn't matter if you're nervous, your mouse is still going to sit there, if you've actually had the time to practice doing those kind of things. And so whilst there might be a large amount of RNG involved and luck involved, that's the kind of stuff that's going to increase your chances of doing well. So if we were to do this tournament, say 10 times, and we calculated the kills over those 10 tournaments, there's a higher chance that Landmark would perform well over a large series of them compared to, say, like Veritas had his like old school moment where Will Ferrell's like doing the debate. Like Veritas might win one, but the next one he might be at position 30 and stuff like that. So that's what happens when people play Valorant. So nothing.
A game that responds to your mouse inputs and it's crazy.
Took you long enough. It was really cool to see Line Res as well. He did some really sick plays, and it was just there was bound to be some cool plays that happened during our cast, Dan. But like when we clicked on Line Res and he did that pistol play, I was like, this is awesome.
The fun part about it was, so you move the camera to him, he drills these 2 Glock shots, and all of a sudden you see like chat erupt, and they're like yelling Brazil in the chat, and all it's amazing. And it's like that's where we talked about this tournament was the opportunity for maybe some people that we don't know about in the Tarkov community, like to get on the spotlight. And you love to see like Hyper Rat or Lion Res when their camera was on, they showed out, and it was a lot of fun to watch. And it was such a fun event to take part of. And I think, walking away from it, you just saw like so much hype even after the fact. People really enjoyed it, and it was cool to see, and we talked about a little bit, but just how like the competitive the Tarkov community is, but not sweaty towards each other, which I think is really cool.
It's a really big community, and it's a fairly friendly community. Out of all the Twitch side of things, I think I don't really hear of much bickering between streamers, and if it is, it's always in fun jest. Like it's like the shit that I say with Veritas and that, like they might try and cause drama with it, but it's really just mates giving shit to each other. Al Smizzle's just joined us. How you going, Al?
How are you guys doing?
Really well, thanks.
Hello. See you guys. Thank you for having me again.
You haven't really missed much. So out of your top 5, Al, what were the 5 names?
Okay. So 3 of them came in the top 15, right? I think I had Smitty Stone was in there. I had Sheaf GG. I had Landmark. Who were the other 2? Gosh, now I'm blanking.
Warren.
I've been put on the spot. How dare you?
You had Warren as favorite.
I had Warren as the favorite.
Robin Live as number 2.
Robin Live is 2. Landmark was 3. Sheaf GG 5, and Smitty Stone 4.
Yep.
Smitty never really came up on a gear set.
He had a really
get any traction.
Bad start. Apparently, he disconnected a few times too. But he got like 30 kills in the last 2 hours. So he actually, once he got the nerves out, I'm guessing he came back really strong. Robin Live actually had a really bad start too, and then steamrolled home. I think I should actually have the results up. That would be a really smart thing for me to do. The Robin Live, he finished. I know it wasn't too far. He finished in 12th spot on 43 kills. Like he was coming home strong. So I think that's where like either nerves might kick in, or it might be just a bad run at the start, and it really, really punishes you.
Gear sets are so key in Factory.
Yeah. So if I was to run the tournament again, what would you guys, like say ideal world and I had unlimited power, what would you guys want from the competitors? I'd actually rather hear this the most.
I think the first thing that comes to mind for me, and we talked about this the other day, is some way of distributing the scoring or the points or something across multiple sections. So let's say, if it was 3 hours, you could essentially have 3 1-hour like mini tournaments where whoever wins gets points. Basically, like if you come in first, you get 5 points, come in second, you get 4 points or something like that. So that then after that, you reset the kills so that if you have a bad start, you might have lost the first round, but it's almost like you get, 2 or 3 rounds. It would be the same amount of time, but it would even out the score a little bit potentially. I don't know.
I think
then rank points for each one. Like if you come in first, you get 100. If you come in last, you get 1, and then just total up the 3 different segments.
Yeah, something like that. Exactly.
That would really only work if it was a series. Personally, that's what I think. Because 1 hour segments is you'd lose your momentum, you'd lose your flow. It's kind of really rough on the competitors. But that could work if it was like, we're going to do this over 4 4 seasons, like one every 3 months. We'll do 4 over the year, and we'll try and get the same competitors every time, which would almost be impossible. But you get the point. They would work on a series, but I feel like for a single tournament over 3 hours, it'd be really rough. But
well, I mean, nothing would change other than how it was scored. Like at the end of the day, it evens out the RNG. So like you'd still have 3 hours of running factory. It would just be. And I'm not saying like reset your account. I'm just saying reset the score. But again, that's just the first idea that came to mind.
How would resetting the score help though? If you started really badly, then you have no gear, no kills, and then you have to go into the next hour with no gear, and wouldn't it make it even more unfair?
It depends. So like I had gear throughout the whole thing. I just couldn't come across like multiple groups. I never really found any more than 2 people max per raid. So I just spent a lot of time running around trying to find people and then queuing up. But again, that's that's the RNG. It's nothing that anybody could really do about it. But if somebody were to get 80 kills in the first hour and then 5 kills in the second hour and 2 kills in the third hour, they might have the most amount of kills. But somebody who gets like 60 in all 3 rounds, you could potentially argue that that they might be like more consistent. I don't know. Like I don't have any actual examples where the numbers make sense off the top of my head, but it's the same reason why you have like any competition is like a 3 out of 5, right? So it's just so you don't kind of get lucky that one time. Although I would argue that nobody that it was in the top 10 or top 20 was lucky in any way. Obviously, everybody's fantastically skilled. But
isn't that part of it though? Like running as many raids as possible, as quickly as possible, and getting as many kills in each one. Just like rushing spawns and shooting people in the face.
Yeah. I see where Veritas is coming from, but it really would work better in a series, not just in a... If it was 3 hours is too short to do that, man. And personally, I just think that, but...
Right. It's just a for instance of some way to make it so that, like, if you have a bad 3 or 4 raids, you don't just give up. You know what I mean? Like, poor Quattro, he probably could have easily won, if he didn't have, like, a really rough start. So breaking it up into different sections or different segments where like rounds where you get points for potentially different things. Maybe it was an hour of labs and an hour of factory, or something like that.
Yeah. Can I say something real quick? The thing that I did, I had a really bad start as well. But the thing that I did, I went in with a scav to reset my mindset and then go in with my PMC right after. It's all about clearing your mindset when it's all about competitiveness. Like, it really worked for me, but of course you can be unlucky right after clearing the mindset. But you just need to think about every raid is different, and you cannot compare any raid with each other because every fight is different as well. Because you're not meeting the same guy, and every situation is different as well in a gunfight. So it's just the mindset, I would say.
So, what, in your opinion, how would we be able to improve the competition in the future? Glorious.
I think the way you guys did it this time, I think it was perfect.
If I had ultimate power and I could do any changes, what would you like?
Private service.
Yeah.
And fighting with each other. That would be
only streamers versus streamers for sure.
That would be so great. And choose which map, like in the future as well, like changing the maps. For example, labs could be a nice idea.
Would streamers versus streamers really work well though?
Yeah,
I feel like if we're all fighting each other, competing, like there would have to be some kind of objective. Otherwise, if it's just kill each other, we're all gonna crouch walk around the map, right?
Are you gonna crouch walk around the map?
I cannot see Landmark crouch walking ever.
Are you kidding me? If we're all playing against each other, everyone's really good. Absolutely.
Okay, so here was what I thought, and it's kind of along those lines. If you can, and again, this is Pestyly's caveat that I can do anything I want. So give me 300 competitors in lab. Private servers.
Let's go.
I want 3 different categories. I want PMC kills to be one category. I want total XP to be a second category. And I want cash at the end of the day to be a third category. So you can compete in any way that you choose. If you want to try and win the PvP category, you can do that. You'll probably also get some good gear that you can then sell to the traders. You get X amount of points. Like, let's say you have to be in the top 100 of any one of those 3 categories to score. You get 100 points if you come in first. You get 1 point if you come in last. Whoever totals the most points is your overall champion. If you win the one category, any one of those 3 categories, you get a prize. If there is a prize, like, or if it's just bragging rights, hey, I got the most kills, hey, I earned the most money in that tournament. So you actually end up naming a possibility of 4 different people can succeed in that tournament, with one being the overall champion. That would be my perfect scenario, and Labs is the best map. Don't at me.
No, for real though, that's actually a pretty nice way to do it.
Axel, you got
Yeah, I was thinking in 2 ways. So first way, if we can actually get private servers set up and everything, I think it would be fun to do 1 versus 1's best of 5, and whoever wins moves on to fight the next streamer.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that happens till the finals. And if we speak realistically, if the next tournament is going to be very similar to this one, I think we need more starting gear. So if you make 2 or 3 mistakes in the beginning, or you get super unlucky, you still have a chance to do something. Because right now, if you lose 3 fights, there is nothing you can do. You have no gear.
I wanted
so
to
maybe more. Yeah.
So just on that gear side of things, the main reason why I did it that way was I wanted to make it that any person in the whole Tarkov category, streamer or just player, could replicate that tournament. That was the main reason for it. I could have found a way to. I could have got BSG to get all your account names and send you guys 1 million rubles each. But I thought it would be really cool that, you know, like Joe Blogs from Reddit goes, oh, I could beat those streamers' kill count, and then he goes, gets a standard account and gets 4 kills and goes, yeah, I'm shit. Yeah, that was the reason behind it. Sorry to interrupt. Keep going.
V, was that your idea? Did you say the same thing like before I got here?
No, it was the same like concept of breaking up into rounds, potentially doing, you know, different types of, you know, categories. I
was nodding when you said that. I was like, yeah, he's got the same idea as me. I like it when I'm on the same side as the smart guys.
Well, no, see, the best part is the chat was basically saying, finally a good idea. Take notes, Veritas. I was like, that's what I just fucking said.
The issue
what I just said
was you fucking Veritas was the fact that your example was just make it a point system for resetting it.
Yeah,
so
but I also tried to make it clear that it doesn't necessarily have to be kills in an hour. It can be anything. Just break it into categories.
All right.
Nobody heard that though.
I didn't hear that. You were
of course you did.
You were muted.
Neither did your chat.
If I had it perfectly, I would have private servers. I've said this for a long time, that if I could get my hands on private servers, I would have a lot of team activities that I would like to watch teams go against each other, 3-mans and 4-mans with different objectives, you know, and I would do it at night. I would do them during the day. Like, I would really push hard on the team side of it.
I think that would be a different competition to what I'm running. I'm just trying to, like, how would I improve my one? But that would be a totally different. I actually really like the idea of a team-based competition. I just don't know how I would want to run one yet. I haven't put any time and thought into that. Sorry, Sigma.
Oh, no, I don't want you to run
teams.
it. I want to run it. I want it to be on Evasion.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Team fights on labs, and you have the 3 stakes where it's money or stash value, kills, and what was the third one? Sorry.
XP.
TMC kills, stash value, and XP.
What would be the team size? 2 or 3?
It's 390s. 2. Because I mean, for solo or single fights, 1v1 fights on labs, it's kind of like, you know, it's like 50-50. But if you have the teamwork of like 2 people fighting, it gets very, very close, you know.
I would love to see 3-man squads on labs trying to like flank and maneuver and communicate and understand where all of their teammates are. Would be sick.
I would like to see a hostage situation at the resort on Shoreline and have just different factors in there and watch the 3 or 4-mans have to go in and just do different things. I don't know. It'd be really cool. But sorry, I don't want to take away from what we were focusing on.
Can I say something about the format?
Go, Dan.
So what I really enjoyed about it, and I think maybe it helped or not, but I felt like anyone, casual or not, could tune into this tournament and know exactly what's going on. Like, I talked about this a little bit. I've watched other Tarkov tournaments, And like I've been playing the game for 3 years and I'm still like galaxy brain trying to figure out this score. Like you need dog tags and money. And this is, you know, I don't know if it's the branding of Punisher, but like you go in and it just kills. That's it. There's nothing else. And to me, that's what from our end and broadcasting, it was just nonstop action. You know, it was like, so it was just a lot of fun and really easy to cast. And I think anyone could tune in and really understand what was going on. You know, Sigma, I didn't watch your tournament, so I can't speak to that. But, you know, I watch other ones. I'm like, man, what's going on? Like, I don't even know how you determine the winner. But that's what, and like, so I know everyone's giving criticism, but I thought you nailed the format.
The bingo.
I wasn't
bingo
criticizing.
stuff,
I do think it was beautiful in its simplicity, right? Like you said, it was very easy to digest as a viewer and to cast as a caster.
The issue with the bingo tournament was, as a competitor of the Twitch Rivals competition, I didn't even know what the fuck I had to get done. Like, there was blocks on the actual grid that had question marks. You know, like, so like Veritas would be like, I just killed Killer for the second time. Like, hey, we got a fucking bingo for that. Like, what the fuck? You know, like, we were seriously, like, as a competitor, we didn't know what we had to do. There was variable. We didn't even know if scavs runs counted to that. That was really confusing as a competitor, let alone a viewer of that competition. And so that was like another thing that, you know, we went with, because that's why we took away the dog tag. There was 2 reasons why I took away the dog tag. Was the tracking of it was actually going to be quite difficult, and the other side was, because it was, just for clarification, it was originally going to be you had to kill someone and get you just had to get their dog tag. A dog tag counted as a kill or a claim of a dead body. But the issue was that I really disliked it. If, say, you went in and killed 2 of a 3-man squad, you didn't get anything for it. But then, you know, someone just kills a solo player, they get a dog tag. It's like, yeah, well, you get that. So the person who does the harder play doesn't even get rewarded for it, yet the person who, you know. So that was the reason why I went away from dog tags. And then also the verification process was heaps easy because it's just a screenshot of your overall screen. But very valid point, Dan. Landmark, perfect world. I had ultimate power. What would you want? $1 million.
Labs in teams does sound kind of fun, but I feel like if you make it like a streamer versus streamer PvP kind of thing, there needs to be some sort of objective to contest, like I don't know, capture the flag kind of thing. It possibly could be really cool. I don't know how that would ever work, but
like an interest point to draw people into something.
So I brought up the fact, imagine playing CS:GO with no bomb sites and it was just kill the other team. It would be so boring to watch.
True.
Like, there needs to be something, like an objective that brings people to points of interest to compete over.
It's true. Oh, actually, that's a very valid point.
So, I mean, even if it was like get the most stash value and you're fighting over like the key card rooms on labs or something, like, because going to green room could give you a ton of money, like something like that potentially.
Like, you'd have to preload all the accounts with all the keys for labs. All the colored keys and lab keys. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, what would need to be done? Like, everybody's on the same level. Start them with X amount of dollars. Give them all crown level traders, so that they're not going in there with like pistols, PM pistols, and just trying to rat around labs.
Okay, so I actually want to make a point about this. If everyone had max traders and max skills and unlimited money in that same tournament, I think it would have been shit to watch.
Yeah,
honestly, I think it would have been
in
shit
that
to
tournament,
watch.
yes.
But even in a labs tournament, because it's just like, it's not the essence of Tarkov. Because people were like, oh, PMC, just going in for PvP isn't Tarkov. But the guys like Glorious had a bad start. He had to do a scav run to reset his mind and get his gear sorted and all that. That's part of Tarkov. Maintaining your money and your economics of actually, do I spend all my gear now or do I, you know, save some for later? That is Tarkov. But obviously, like this, super quick because you've got 3 hours, right? That was the whole essence of the tournament. So,
which I think works great on Factory.
Yep.
But Labs is that, you know, later map. I would be like no holds barred on Labs.
I wouldn't want it to be like unlimited money, because you can make so much money in a couple of successful lab raids, like just by selling to traders, that like enough money that they can go in somewhat geared, you know, with armor and good guns and whatever for them to set up some gear sets to begin the thing in the setup period, and then have them kind of roll so you actually have some geared fights so that everybody, like Landmark was saying, everybody isn't just crouch walking around the map trying to avoid each other so they don't get one tapped by a random raider that spawns behind them.
Man, I just seen 2 very great suggestions. Making all Ledixes. Every guy has 20 Ledixes and it's in their pockets and you have to fight and get them. Obviously, Doctax would have been also, or could also work, but maybe putting a heavy item like a tank battery in the middle of the map of labs, and that's how I'll capture the flag. And that team has to work, fight, get the fuck out. And I mean, they can't sprint out, except if they fight, you know. But I mean, it would be just amazing to fight for that battery right in the middle in administration and just have
in
that
the kill box.
Oh my gosh, just absolute carnage.
That would be
a good
amazing.
idea.
So a guaranteed spawn.
Because
Because if everyone had a management office key, and then it was like guaranteed spawn of a tank battery inside the management office. Maybe there was 2
I
tank
don't know who
batteries.
said it, but
I feel like you wouldn't use a lot of the map, and that's like, right?
So what if we put
There
one
would
in
be a
like
lot of-
red key
You
card?
could put, I
room
guess
or-
if you could put it wherever, possibly. Like if you could
Oh.
spawn
Like
it
there will
in
be one
red-
that
in
spawns
red
somewhere, one
game
of
and
5
then-
spots,
yeah.
let's say.
and it's bonus
And
points for it or something. I'm just trying to think how would it work.
Yeah.
Bonus 5 kills.
So they actually have to fight for it, and everyone is going to push the extractions when they hear the announcement. Like if Sector G is getting open, everyone's going to push Sector G because then it's going to be a bait or whatever because they found the tank battery. That would actually be so fucking fun.
I guess you'd spawn a tank battery somewhere on the map. Everyone would know where it is, and you'd either have to kill the other team or extract with the battery to win.
Yeah.
That could be cool.
That would be fun.
That's awesome.
With no grenade launchers, please.
Oh, please, no,
Please.
Don't start this one.
If we were playing it as a solo though, the tank battery idea could still work. It's just a matter of you're gonna have to. I don't like the management office because I think it's too exposed. But then at the same time, the glass kind of works as like damage, like almost like armor. The glass of the management office, so you would actually be able to run in there and that. I'm trying
That's
to
what
figure
I
it
do
out.
on my customs one. It's called the Breaky Bug Out Bag. And we have the 4 solo players that are going against each other. They load in with another guy, and that other guy runs and hides the bag somewhere in dorms. And then when I tell them to go, they go. However, they have to drink a whole jar of mayo first so that they are dehydrated, trying to find a bag that has the like the aquamari in it. And then they fight over dorms, and whoever gets the Breaky Bug Out bag and gets out gets a ton of points.
That's bully.
Pretty cool.
That's cool.
I don't want to yeah. This is really so. All right, after the tournament, and I still haven't read everyone's suggestions from the form that we had made, just because there's a lot. I spoke to BSG about, because they said it was really well done and they wanted us to do it again, and I was like, there was a lot of work. There was a lot of work to get that organized. I said, if I was to do it again, I would want a private server where each region would have 100 competitors. So the regions would be North America, or the Americas, Europe, and then the other, which would be ANZ and Southeast Asia. And you would have 100 competitors for each region, and everyone would go labs and all be against each other. And BSG, Nikita, said he needed some time to talk to his people about it, and he said that they reckon they can make it happen. So you'd have a standalone client, and you guys would have this competition where it would be players versus players of the competition, no one else around, because literally no one else could join it. And yeah, I want to take all these ideas and I want to try and move it all into how we would make it work. But there's obviously a lot of work involved in getting it. I want the tournament to be as hyped and as fun and as enjoyable from both the viewing and player perspective, and that's why I'm asking you guys this stuff now. So that's exciting. It won't be for a few months though.
What do you think? When you were done, you're like, oh, we should have done this different, or we could have done this better.
I think the major negatives from that tournament came from I wasn't happy with how I produced it, which was the changing of the players. I know how to do that a lot better now. There was just so much I was trying to get done before the tournament that I just didn't put enough time into that. So that's a negative against me. So that could have detracted from some of the enjoyment of watching it. The major positive was that leaderboard. Oh, and they can automate our leaderboard next time, which is good because that's a lot less work for people. We had 100 people helping with that leaderboard. But I think it was actually cool because I saw Landmark actually using his moderator as like I won't call him a coach, but Landmark was kind of using him as like a bit of a, I don't know, reassurance.
Eye in the sky.
Yeah, like that's kind of what I wanted him to work like as well.
I just got an idea.
Go for it.
Like, what if like we got the Sherpas, right? They got the green names. We have the non-UDs, they got the white names, and we got the UDs, the yellow names. What if the competitives got their own like color of their name? You know what I mean? Like if they had blue name in the game, so they could join one server because they have this.
That if we get the server how I anticipate it's going to happen, then you won't even have an issue, man. You'll only play against the people you're playing against.
Okay, but now I was just thinking of like if you had that server, don't you like have to have your own game? Like think about it.
It'll be sorted.
Like,
you literally just think if you got Tarkov installed right now, and it'd be like Tarkov, the other Tarkov, and you'd open up the other Tarkov. Remember PUBG test servers? If you ever played PUBG,
I do.
It'd just be like that.
That would be nice. Yeah, that would actually be nice.
It's a separate client, a full separate client.
Or like Face It, but that's reason.
It's one of those things where it's a really hard balance, but to get an enjoyable experience from the playing and the viewing perspective, and Dan hit it right in the head where it's simplistic. So I still want to try and keep it simplistic. I really like these ideas of the tank battery and that, but it's not just as simple as just dumping a tank battery in a management office and saying, fight over it.
Over it. Yeah. I mean, the next one doesn't need to be the labs one. It can always be the second Punisher Bot 2 tournament. And then improve on.
I like the idea of labs because you wouldn't have to have much starting money, because if you wanted to, right, you could say you killed all the remaining players. You could stay in there for an extra 5 minutes and kill some raiders, grab their gear, and now you're going into your next raid with heaps of gear.
You have to buy key cards?
Well, we could make it that you could have the key cards if you wanted.
I was going to say, because if you get unlucky with 2 bad labs raids, you're
no. Yeah, entry keys, they'd be out. You wouldn't have to use them at all. It'd be just, you just enter like the old days.
Scaveng labs, maybe?
Sorry?
Scaveng into labs?
You wouldn't need to.
Just because we can.
I go into labs without a weapon at all, not even a melee weapon, and you can find guns. Particularly if we, a cool thing, weapon testing area always has a gun pretty much, or red keycard room nearly definitely has one. But there's a lot of rooms that actually have gun spawns. You could
just remember you have all the keys as well.
We could make that possible.
Presuming. Yes. So all of the rooms, basically. You got to unlock it though.
Oh, what if they made a... Oh, that's actually kind of cool. What if they made a scav boss for the labs?
That would be
just for the tournament.
That would be crazy.
Just give Nikita his own character. He gets like 5,000 HP, and whoever can take him down gets bonus points.
Just take all the existing bosses and throw them into labs instead of raiders.
Oh no, not Killer.
He's killing in there. Throw Rashala and his boys. Get Glukar roaming around.
Yeah, I don't know. That's actually, I kind of like that idea too, because and he spawns at the start.
The labs boss tournament, and have every existing boss be in the lab instead of raiders, and you're fighting for those 3 categories that we talked about. Everybody has keys and unlimited access to the lab.
Boss rush mode.
Killer win.
Just go.
Glukar wins. Just 2 taps me.
Yeah,
through all walls.
Yeah.
So you got to get PMC kills, but you also got to worry that like Killa might be around that corner, or Gluk and his boys.
They rush you.
right?
You're boy.
Landmark loads in with his first SKS, and it's like Glucker and his 6 buddies. And Landmark's like, righto, champ. I'm good, I'm not that good.
Sturman just snipes you through the garage.
He dies. No beginner dies.
All right, so the next tournament, I also want to make it so now this tournament, full disclosure, the original idea I had was I was going to have 3 different prizes for this tournament, and they were all going to be charitable donations. There was a bit of logistics issues that I was having behind the scenes, but first, second, third, we're going to have the ability to pick a registered charity, and there would be donations going to each of those. We decided against it because of just some paperwork side on the back end. And I said, I'm just going to not focus on that. Let it be about bragging rights and fun for this one. And then the next one, the dream is to make it so probably top 10 would have prizes and maybe even more. And it would also...
Top 31?
Top 30 would have prizes. And...
Wait, that was 30th. Okay, that's fine.
Top 29 and a half will get prizes. And they will be anywhere ranging from like, if I could get an NVIDIA on board, for example, we get like 3090s, for, the top prize, or maybe a new computer for, the top 3 people or something really big. And particularly for people that are trying to get into the content creation world or as a streamer and that, it would be a really big boost where they don't have to fork out their own money to upgrade their setups. We get one of those sweet 360 hertz monitors that we all saw, and you can have a 360 hertz monitor in a game that runs at 65 FPS. So, but going down the prizes path, what kind of stuff do you think would be really cool to have? I'm literally taking notes here, guys. So, if you guys have any good ideas,
BSG were to throw in 10 EOD codes that you could give away to your community, because then you almost kind of have you could get behind your racehorse, and I don't know, I think that'd be cool.
I'm going to steal Glorious's idea. I think the winner of the next Punisher tournament should get their name read in the server for that wipe. So when you kill that person, you're like, no, that's the person that won the tournament.
That would be nice.
Carved into the desk.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Like Shawshank Redemption, Brooks was here.
Exactly.
I'm thinking
your actual character name. So if you kill them, you're like, oh, that's the person that won the tournament.
I like have a reader named after you.
34.
Loses on purpose so you don't get stream sniped.
would you actually
Red
want
name.
that though?
That's landmark. Red name.
Like, would you actually want that though? Like every time you go to the lobby, your name bright red.
No, not ever again. Not ever again.
A golden dog tag.
Oh,
I would actually want in-game cosmetics, because sometime in the future we're gonna get more cosmetics such as clothing, hair, beards, whatever. Maybe winners can get some special cosmetics.
Mike
What about-
Tyson tattoo.
Oh my god.
What about maybe early access to some cosmetics that are coming in the future? For example, they gave me the Kappa container. I didn't even know it. I just had a message where it was like the Kappa not Israel, not Kappa, or something like that. It was the message I had. And I had the Kappa container in my messages. Like maybe you got a early access to an in-game item or two. That'd be cool.
Can we all just get Sturman jackets? I want a nice fluffy coat.
We asked Nikita about that on a podcast, and he said, well, the cosmetics is already in the game. It wouldn't even be hard. And then he's like, but no. I was like, well, fuck you.
What about a
It's
streamer
already it would
item?
be hard. Give jacket.
Streamer
What
item
about a
cool.
streamer item? Yeah, the winner would get a streamer item because it's gonna be only streamers anyway. So why not?
And if you already have one, it gets deleted from the game if you lose.
Yeah. You take the spot of the other ones.
I'm going to be running all the tournaments from now on, guys. Sorry. I'm not going to be in any. They're actually making the plague mask even rarer and rarer. It's actually at the start of a wipe, it's super easy to get. And then by the end of the wipe, no one's allowed to get one. So that way the filthy casuals and the Reddit users don't get access to the Kappa container. Deliberately implemented. I specifically requested that one.
No, didn't you also request the Mosin thing? Whether
Yeah.
if they use a Mosin, it doesn't spawn in the raid.
Yep. And their ammo increasingly goes up in price.
Yeah,
Every time they use a Mosin.
They don't know you're joking.
Yeah, he's not though. Have you seen the price of Mosins and LPS lately? Thanks, Pest.
No worries, buddy.
Can you do something about the grenade launchers?
What's wrong with them?
Yeah, sure. We make it
I'm
cheaper.
dying to naked grenade launchers all the fucking time. Like they don't have any gear on. They just boom. They take
You
my slick. Boom.
You just
My
gotta load
HK.
it into scab, reset your mindset, and go back in again.
Yeah, scabbing in
Glorious,
labs,
yeah.
bro. In labs. Like, how do I
Yeah.
do that?
I'll comment on this as well. It's generally not an issue on any map except labs. And the issue isn't the grenade launcher, it's the ammo. It's the 2 to 3 meter arming distance ammo.
Yeah.
Is it just that ammo?
Yeah, if it was the 15 to 30 meter ammo, I think it's fine. Like using grenade launcher at a longer range is whatever. But the way people use it is more just like a close range insta kill. And when BSG reduced the blast radius of the grenades, which I think actually made it better because you could shoot it closer to you and kill people without blowing yourself up.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just on labs. It's like if you have a grenade launcher and you play not like an idiot, it's almost impossible to die.
You just
One
shoot
tap.
at walls and ceilings. You don't even have to
Yeah,
aim at the guy.
exactly.
Hit this guy in
Yeah.
that general
Yeah,
direction.
It's very, very strong on labs, and you don't really see it on other maps. But on labs, it's very, very strong.
And you can't do anything about it. Like, you can't even run away. Like, there is no way you can avoid that bullet. Like, you're dead. GG's.
Yeah, but you can't avoid normal bullets either.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can quick peek. You can shoulder
You can
peek.
duck.
You can do,
You
like,
can lay
I
down
don't know. Like, you can
prone.
do some stupid shit. But, like,
you can
grenade launcher,
stay
you're
behind the
dead.
wall and be safe.
Why don't you jump it? Right? No, I can't do anything about that. Sorry.
Damn.
Probably. I guess. You know what I'll do? This is what I'll do. I'll film a video tomorrow of all the rounds and how close you can be to one, blowing yourself up and blowing out the other person. I'll make a video about it. I'll let the community go nuts about if it's fucking OP or not. And then I'll send that video to BSG and then let him go, no. All right. So I'll do something like that.
It's like I said, it's those two. It's like the M441 and the M3. It's the 2 meter arming distance ones are the really strong ones.
So do you
I think the
they should
GL's
all
kind
be
of cool.
15 to 30 or like just 15 minimum would be fine?
Oh, I have no idea about that. It's just you could shoot them really close and kill people.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, the
LVNDMARK.
GL itself is kind of fun. I was using the shotgun rounds yesterday. I was having a good time with that.
The
Just remember, it's your fault. Yeah, the whole community is gonna blame you now. Okay,
Oh my god.
for that change. Okay, I'm
All
just
I-
warning you now.
Hold
I'm just
on.
warning you now. You're gonna get some.
I said it's only a big issue on labs. On every other map, you rarely run into them.
I think
But on
I've run
labs,
into
very
one
strong.
6 times and I think I've killed him 3 times. Something like that. But that I don't go labs anymore.
I meet him in factory. Like, I don't know about you guys. Like, I'm like, everyone is just getting me with a grenade launcher.
The dirtiest one I had was someone was at was in dorms on the 3rd floor. And I literally came up the stairs and it was just there was nothing you could do. Like it was like, hello, boom. It was just I've killed one in labs, but that was like when they first came out, and I haven't seen one since in labs, but I've done like 7 raids of labs in about 3 months. So I think we got really off topic.
My bad. Sorry.
No, it's fine. The streamer items cool idea. Yeah, what about external from BSG? Because codes, in-game cosmetics, and streamer items are all BSG founded. What would be cool items? Can't really ship you on a holiday to a remote island because flights aren't happening. Do you like the
I mean,
idea
like,
of
for the winners, like, what would
yeah,
be-
for winners or top 30 or whatever? That alcohol? Baby wipes. Oh, a medal. Trophy.
What about a body armor with your name on? With the logo? Like,
I think,
Tarkov logo?
I think it's like a championship belt. Would the champion have to ship it to the next champion? It
No.
would be pretty sick. Not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
With the name on, like your name has been on, and then the next guy's name is gonna be on.
That
You
is
want a
actually
personalized championship belt.
Landmark. Would you like a personalized championship belt?
You play for the strap.
uh,
I want to
I
see
don't
you in it with nothing but that on though.
um, that's for a different website, my friend.
OnlyFans. You could put
That's
it with
the
my
OnlyFans account.
with my hairy feet pictures and rate my poos. You guys think that's a cool idea or not? This is me getting feedback.
It's an IRL belt.
I'd get it legit IRL made, and I could ship them out to every winner. No, all right.
I mean, yeah.
I think it's a pretty cool idea, but
As my parting suggestion, because I got to run, but thank you guys. Nice meeting everyone. Thank you for having me. I think you got to give them some cold, hard cash. Just then you get the sweat out. People are gonna be so then you want people to duke it out and Punisher Part 2. Send them, just wire them a stack of cash when it's over. Because personally, from your personal account.
my
That's
personal
still-
account. All right.
Yeah. No, I gotta go, but thank you guys so much.
Thanks so much,
having
Dan.
me.
Later, Dan.
Thanks
Take
for
it
having
easy,
me.
man.
Yeah, man.
Bye, Dan. You've got to
That-
be able to get a partnership with like a computer company, right? Like a gaming computer, and then they get like the top notch build from that. The winner of the tournament gets like a $6,000 computer.
The coolest thing about that tournament, guys, from the broadcasting perspective, is we capped at the 46,000 concurrent viewers, and there was a large amount of like unique viewers that popped into it at some point. So it really does open it up where I can be like, hey, this was a community ran event, and we got this much exposure, and like I didn't have Twitch front page, I didn't ask for it, but like I could help the Twitch managers for front page. We who knows? We could drop through on it, get 100,000 viewers there, and then brands want to fucking have their brand in front of people. So we could easily get that open to a very large amount of brands that be interested in computer brands and also cash backings. So it's not out of the realms of possibility. That's how Code Red tournaments and Twitch tournaments and all that have cash prizes. So I definitely think we could do it. 100%.
Golden dog tags.
Like cash is an easy one. I was kind of thinking of like, is there anything cool out there that you guys would be interested in? Cash always goes well for everyone. Like if you're, need money or if you want to make your own setup and all that, you can do it. It's a lot easier to get companies to also just give their own products as well. From my experience, if I go, hey, Thinker Labs, want to hook us up for some giveaways for the charity event? They're like, we'll give you 4 chairs. Like it's heaps easy to get that side. But when it comes to cash, it's a little bit more push pull.
I didn't want to name brands, but like, computer company, chair companies, whatever. Same ideas. And like you said, if you incorporate Twitch drops, which would like 3 or 4x the audience for every one of the competitors as well as the mainstream, you're talking about a massive amount of concurrent viewers that brands would be lining up to give things away to the competitors.
Agreed. Sorry, my wife messages me. I have to check it. So yeah, that's probably down the path. That's the easy stuff that I was looking at. I was kind of looking for more out their ideas. I do like the idea of a belt or a trophy. I actually really like that idea. Maybe I'll think of something better. Like,
And you can. There's a million things you could personalize. Whether it was like a plaque, that all you'd need to do is have the name inscribed on it after the fact, right? Or like something cool, like a dog tag, gold medal. Actually, I have a few examples if you want to see. I've seen like silver, gold, and bronze medals as dog tags, which is pretty cool.
and they're not heavy, so that's easy to post. Whereas that belt shipped from Australia to Europe would be like, probably literally be like $150.
I mean, you wouldn't get it sent to you beforehand. You'd basically have the belt company make it and ship it direct to the winner.
Yep. 100%. What are they? Oh, that's actually really cool. What if it was like a killer helmet from what's his name? But it was like engraved with stuff on it. You could actually wear the trophy on your head.
On stream.
You could do your stream with the killer helmet saying, I don't know. That's cool. So yeah, I really like the idea of how the tournament went, how everyone really was receptive about it and they enjoyed it. So I'm looking forward to what I can put together or what we can put together for the future. So yeah, Sigma, do you have you've got your Evasion GG tournament going on at the moment. How's that been going along?
It's good. We're heading into the NA semifinals this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And then for the duos, we have on Thursday this week, actually Veritas will be there with Slush. And then the week after we have Lupo and Ginger in it. I don't know. We're kind of coming towards the end of the season, but it's looking good.
Is Veritas playing with Slush or are they just in different comps?
So Thursday
Slush didn't
is the
rock up, did he?
duos. Not today. What?
Slush didn't rock up to his competition, did he?
Oh.
You
For
cut out.
solos, the OCE bracket for solos, he didn't.
He was drunk.
Yeah, he was super hungover. But no, this week on Thursday, Slush and Twitchy are the duo pair because we have 3 duos, and then Sensei Scav and Veritas are a duo.
When's your tournament? When's your season finish?
November 1st.
Yeah.
And then after that, it'll just be a whole bunch of community events until the next wipe.
Whenever that happens.
Right, exactly.
When do you guys, okay, this is a question that's come up so much recently. When's the wipe? And I keep saying Thursday. I can't see the wipe being before November.
No, I think probably the end of December, honestly.
Christmas Day wipe?
Yeah. It's all our Christmas present from BSG. They're going
Do
to
you
say,
even
here's
think
streets.
it's coming that soon?
I don't know.
Okay, so seriously, this is my idea of how it's going to fall out. Like 12.8 won't be in until like the end of this month, right? And they said that what will be either with 12.9 or definitely with 13.0. I think 13.0 is ages away. I think because they're going to a new Unity engine. So my theory is they'll probably try and do a wipe with 12.9, which whenever that falls, so it'd either be like November, December, and then 13.0 will be like April next year.
Do you think April?
Yeah, and I reckon there'll be a wipe for both of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't look at realistically. We're over 4 months into this wipe. The longest wipe we've ever had is 7 months, and that was fucking painful. If this patch doesn't come out for like another 2 to 4 weeks, and the next patch after that's another 4 to 6 weeks after that, we're at the 6 to 7 month mark at that point. And if 13.0 is like months and months after that, you're not gonna have like a 9-month wipe.
Yeah, that would be too rough.
I know you shouldn't wipe for the sake of wiping, but when
You should.
yeah, pretty much. There needs to be content with it. There needs to be content with it.
It shouldn't just be a wipe because of we need a wipe. No, not a fuck. I disagree completely because it's going to be like, we wiped for nothing.
They did it once before.
Yeah, and it was fucking horrible, and 90% of all the streamers didn't want to fucking play that patch.
They did two new guns, and it was dry, and it was just
Yes.
So you don't think they're wiping until Streets comes out?
I think personally they're not going to wipe until Streets comes out and the new Unity update. Because it would be stupid if they wipe again with 2 weapons and 13 attachments.
So what happens if that's in like March next year? Like realistically, it's like a 10-month wipe, 11-month wipe.
That's a long wipe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, goddamn.
Yeah, that's too long.
Yeah.
Landmark gets his standard account to level 70.
No, I actually reset it to practice for the tournament. I got it to 40, and then I didn't want to do quests anymore. So
Landmark, did they fix the attention bug with you yet?
no, but it happens way less than it used to. It happens like maybe 3 times a stream.
What's the bug?
When you have max attention skill, you get that 50% chance to instantly search containers. And sometimes you get stuck in like an infinite search loop and you're just infinitely searching a backpack and you can't shoot or heal or use consumables. And the only way I know how to fix it is to relog and reconnect to the raid.
Can you just send me a clip? I'll get someone to send me a clip of it. And I'll forward it.
I'm sure it'll happen at some point today. It used to happen very frequently, but now it's not as bad, but it does happen.
Didn't they set your attention back a little bit for you last wipe?
Last wipe they did, yeah. Yeah, they reset my attention because it was happening like every raid, and it was really bad.
That's not a fix. Oh yeah, he's got a bug. Let's just make it so it doesn't happen. Just disappear.
But it's also the thing. What less than 1% of players encounter that. So,
but
I know it's not an excuse, but yes, but yeah.
Do we know why it happens?
I have no clue.
I feel like it's something to do. It's something to do with the server. Because when I had the tension level 51 as well in the previous wipe, and when I was doing viewer kits, I swear 95% of the time when someone dropped me a rig and I searched it, it glitched.
Yes.
So every single raid, if someone dropped me stuff in the beginning of the raid, it glitched.
Yeah, but there's also all sorts of bugs around. Like yesterday, I hit this a bunch where I had a Mosin, and taking the optic off of it, you end up with like it just sits there spinning in your inventory, and your guy's just holding his gun, and he won't shoot, and he can't heal. I exited the game, relogged on. So I think it's something along the lines of like moving gear around, whether it's attachments or if someone drops you something, handing it to them. Like it always happens when you're switching equipment somehow. Yeah, I don't know if it's
I noticed
client
once
side or server side, but
yeah, I noticed once I killed a guy. I took his gun, put it on my rig, and then put it back on him again, and then it was bugged out.
Never do that. Never do.
Yeah,
that.
that's what I found out.
Yeah.
So it just bugged out for some reason.
I ran into something funny the other day. I was looting on Shoreline. It actually happened to me twice. If you pick up an item and you press F and you accidentally hit G at the same time, you'll pick up the item, throw a grenade, and won't be able to move, and you'll kill yourself.
Actually, same thing happens with the lab doors.
Twice.
if you open a door and throw a grenade at the same time, it used to be like that. They fixed it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just lab
Have
doors
they?
now. Is it the swipe doors you're talking about?
Yeah.
It used to be the key doors too. So the key doors used to start opening the door, but you'd also press G and it'd be like, because I used to open a door, reload, and heal at the same time because you used to be able to do that as well. So
how come I can stop performing field surgery, but I can't stop unlocking a door to shoot somebody?
You just really want that loot inside. I'm sorry.
I really want to finish unlocking this door. My OCD is taking over, and I can't possibly stop because then I would have to redo it 3 times after touching my forehead and nose 5 times.
It's that loot, brother. PS rounds inside.
Oh, look, there's someone over there while I'm unlocking this door that's probably going to kill me.
At least you could turn your head now and have a look around.
I can see the
you can turn your entire fucking like soul inside of your
You
body.
can ADS too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't shoot.
Would be nice if you could actually
I can
shoot
pull off
with
in
more.
Tarkov is 360 door openings.
Yeah. Have you guys ever scared yourself opening a door and having a gun on your back? Fuck me. Because you can turn inside yourself and you can see the gun on your back. And I usually just turn around and I see the gun. I'm like, fuck! Someone's on me.
I was doing that quest where you put down the SV98 on Shoreline with the Leatherman, and this is only yesterday. It was yesterday. I put the SV98 down and finished putting down both the items, and then my legs were now in front of me when I was prone. So I was like, my body was like halved over. And I was like ADS prone across the top of my legs, and I was like twisted all up. And I was like, if I leopard crawled around, it would like move them around with me. It was so weird. But those imperfections is what makes it beautiful.
It only happens in Tarkov.
Yeah.
Should you be able to shoot your way into doors in Shoreline?
This actually came up the other day where like a wooden door and you can shoot a fucking 40 mil at it and it doesn't even flinch.
Like, why can't I put like 5 M4 rounds into a door lock and just breach it?
I was told the game was realistic. That doesn't sound like something you could do in real life.
It would
Boom.
Poor hatchlings. Don't you want to have the hatchlings use their keys and not stand outside there?
No, they'll just take a Makarov. A Makarov now supersedes a million ruble key.
They don't bring guns.
I still think all keys. So if you have your keys on like a key ring, then if you have one key, you should literally just pull a key ring out and it'll be just one key and you open it just like you do at the moment. But if you have like 16 keys on there, it like jingles as it rips it out. And then you got to like flick through the keys real quick to try and get the right one. And it just takes that little bit extra time. And then it's like goes and opens it. And the Doc's case would be the same. You'd unclip it and be like, oh, there's that key. Or there's that key card. But if there's only one in there, it'd be instant.
But then the realism guys are just going to be like, oh, and then you accidentally dropped one and then you're fucked, right? So you're now in an animation picking up all the keys. I would love that. That would be...
Imagine dropping your sick case.
Yeah, by accident.
Yeah. Imagine you go to get your keys and you realize that instead is your wife's keys. She took your Doc's case to go to the grocery store so that you can't.
Your wife went to New Gas to get a can of condensed milk and she took your keys.
Yeah.
Tosses your red key card. What the fuck?
I didn't think you needed this.
You don't need that.
I mean,
punishment.
Axel was good with it.
So
he really wanted that intelligence.
Actually, the other day, I hosted him, and then I don't know how long after I wasn't watching, but he showed me the clip. He was in labs, and in the red keycard room, there's that intel spawn on the desk, and he picked up the intel, but he wanted to put it in his container, but he didn't have room, so he just moved a 2-slot item out of his container and put the intel there and ran out the room and jumped out the window and died to a raider. But that item he moved out was his sick case with his red key card and all his keys in it. And so he lost his entire key stack for labs, including red.
What map was he on?
Labs.
GG's, man.
Veritas, you need to see it. It's honestly a Veritas club, must say.
Oh, that's why he wanted to scav in, right? That's why
Exposed.
Well,
at first I thought it was a PMC, and it wasn't. When they told me it was a raider, and I'm like, yeah, luckily that guy. Wait a minute, that sucks.
Yeah, I was gonna move the survival kit, and I just quickly control click and missed it by a few pixels.
Oof.
Yeah,
it happens.
I dropped my red rebel on labs once.
Did it go through the floor though?
It went. Okay, so I went to loot a body, and I meant to like go and click delete on one of my guns, and I hit delete too fast when I was swiping over my red rebel, and I dropped it, and it disappeared. And there was like 10 people, like everyone was fighting each other around me, and I was doing like a 5-7 run or something. So I was like, well, this is not the raid for this to happen.
Did it go into the basement?
I don't know. I reconnected, and one of the dead bodies like moved, and then the thing was on the floor, and I got it back.
Oh my god, that's nice. That's safe.
So if things if you drop something and it disappears, relogging to the server might help.
Yeah, those the body positions client side.
Yes,
I believe
it must
so,
be.
Yeah, but I don't even think it was in the body. I think it was like, I don't know. It came back. I got it. That's all that matters.
We actually spoke about that a long time ago, that you should be able to proximity search, but it's like a time-based thing. So if you accidentally drop something, say, in a place you just can't click, like you could press tab and then go search area, and literally like it has to be in reaching range. But like if something's there, you could actually redeem it. Because you know, like when you drop something and it's like, I don't know, a stack of ammo underneath a body, and you're like, fuck, can't even pick it up because the body's in the way. It'd be nice if you could do a cheeky little proximity search, but not like in DayZ where you press tab and you just run around the whole building just like, I've got to find this item. So, yeah.
Undo button. Just please save me. Drop my sick. Undo key. Use it once a raid. You can use it once a raid.
Every time I get shot in the face.
I mean, but you don't get the button, Mike. It just doesn't work like that.
No. Do you guys think that the cheater problem is better or worse?
I
It
think
depends.
it's depending on server. Yeah.
Also, which map you play.
It's bad on labs for me.
Yeah.
It got really bad for me today.
It's like at a point where you just toss a coin, like it's 50-50.
Yeah.
Like you
On
either
labs,
meet
at least.
one.
Everyone always asks me about it, and I say 99% of the time on every other map, I don't see anything suspicious. And then labs, it's like, okay.
Have these? I mean, have we done anything that would change? Like they haven't changed anything recently, right? That would have any effect. So
I would argue the fact that there's probably less people playing right now, so there's less RMTs, which would hopefully fuel less amounts of them.
I think they don't even care about that. Or some of them don't even care about it. I think some of them just like running around the map and killing people.
I just couldn't imagine it being enjoyable. Like if you took away all risk from Tarkov and you never died, the game
There's
would
always
be
someone.
Someone has small
There's
peepees. They
always-
like to do that. Like they just ruin your day, and then they come to your chat. Hey, GG's, it was me. You want
Didn't
your
you
stuff
ever-
back?
But haven't you guys ever played like any Elder Scrolls game and open up the console and start putting in commands like make me 50 feet tall, make it
And
so
I
that
play
I
the
can
game
jump?
for like 15 minutes and I quit because I'm like, I've finished it now, I'm bored. Anytime I've done those kind of games and I've used those kind of cheats, I've just been bored of the game instantly.
Well, then it's a different game. Is all I'm saying. Like
I think some people just get the enjoyment out of like, especially if you're streaming, they get the enjoyment of just like
Fucking with
shitting
people.
on you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You know,
Have you ever thought about doing the Warren approach, Landmark? I feel like you get targeted because you react to it. Warren just presses next as fast as he can at the end of each raid, doesn't think about it, doesn't try and react. I learned that from Deadly a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah. I guess.
Can you explain that? What do you mean? Like,
So,
just
When
just ignore it. Go
every
to the
time you
next raid.
die, you literally just press next, and you just try your best, your acting you can to not react.
it's
Yeah, but that
really
only
hard.
matters
feed
if
the
the
trolls
person's
approach.
sniping you and doing it on purpose. You know, it doesn't
I
serve any
don't
other
really
purpose
react
other than that.
anymore. But like I learned that from Deadly a long time ago because they were like, "How do you fight against stream snipers?" I'm like, I don't know. At the end of a raid, I just press next and just pretend that it's just another death. Even if I feel like it was sus, I just don't say anything. I just don't do anything. I just go next. I like to look at the damage done and like where the bullet hits me, but the first couple of screens, it's
But it's kind of hard when you see a guy with a killer helmet on just flying across the map and just one shot the shit out of you, and then he does that 10 times, and you'd be like, all right, that was fucked up. You know what I mean? Like,
That's
I've
what I
seen-
call content.
Now, you've got to put into perspective that Landmark streams more than anyone else in the world, but I see more really obvious cheating clips from Landmark than any other streamer. All the other streamers combined, I see more from Landmark. And there's obviously a
Is
reason
that-
behind it.
Okay, so do you think that that's because he plays more labs than most other people, or do you think it's a combination of he plays more labs, has a very large stream, and reacts to it when it happens?
I think it's a combination.
All of
He
the above.
reacts to it, yeah, and also they probably use his clips to sell them on their websites. I think
Because
they,
if
it
people
only-
are
if
in
you
the
go
goal,
off
now they're
stream-
not selling money, but now they're selling the
It
wares.
only happens on, like I said, 99% of raids outside of labs, totally fine. It's just generally on labs.
So then that to me sounds like it's a labs thing
I
and
think
less of
it's
a
a labs-
targeting you thing.
I think it's a labs thing, honestly.
Because I mean,
it
I come across
Like every
I come
once
across
in a
the
while,
same
you see
sketchiness
someone.
whether I'm on stream or not. So that's why I guess I don't assume that if there's someone cheating, like my reaction is not to assume that they were there for me, you know, like it had anything to do with me. It was they're doing their own thing. I just happen to have been the unlucky target. But
do you remember that dude that
No.
did like, I can't remember how many, like 100 labs runs, and he just hid in the bathroom and he didn't count any runs when he thought anyone had heard him go there. And he just hid in the bathroom and he counted, like he had Bitcoins in his pockets to make it obvious that he was like, you know, had cash on him, and counted how many times it was cheaters. I wish someone would do another analysis like that. It's way too time consuming to do when you actually like do other stuff in life. But it'd be kind of cool to see. Like, if it's gotten any worse, any better, do it over a period of time, like once every, 3 months, try it again, see if the results change. Because like, I went into labs the other day. This is probably about 2-3 weeks ago. I went into labs and it's like, one of the tactics I have is like, I'll just go in with like a pistol. I'll have my lunch while hiding in the bathroom. And then after I finish my lunch, then I'll go see what I can make out of the run, And like, I was literally in the shitter, just like eating my lunch, and someone came and killed me. There was no way he knew I was there. Besides, it was obvious he and straight up to me to kill me. So, but
You eat on the toilet?
in
That's
the
what we
game,
just learned this podcast?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
They're clean. We talk about shit way too much on my stream, by the way.
But yeah,
Way too much.
I want to ask one thing, right? Axel, all the labs guys, yeah, that play labs a lot. Do you think, honestly, if they made the level cap 40, would it stop the majority of the hackers?
No. You
No,
get level 40
it wouldn't
so fast.
stop. They would just spread
My bad.
out on different maps.
The
Yes.
only thing that would do anything to alleviate the issue on labs, I think, would be a quest lock, because you'd force them to actually go through the game instead of just power level 40 on factory. But like Axel said, you'd spread out amongst the other maps.
Wait, so what are we talking about? A level? Can you explain what you mean? Like a minimum
cap
level or a
for labs.
maximum
Yeah,
level?
Minimum.
Just
Like a
level 3. And I'm talking about, I know it would push the hackers to the other maps, but
You just buy
Would it
buy
fix-
accounts.
yeah, well,
Then the money then the money all of a sudden transfers over into, now you can make money as a legit player power leveling and then selling it to cheaters.
yeah,
just
but would it fix labs? That's it. Nothing else. Would it fix labs?
I don't
No,
think so.
because the cheaters would get level 40, they buy the account at level
Yeah.
40 and then
Will
cheat.
they make it to level 40? The majority of them.
Yeah.
So
Do they get to level 40?
the start of
Do
a
you know
wipe,
this?
the start of a wipe, there was just as
feel like
many
you
cheaters
could.
on reserve than there was on labs, because reserve had all the raiders. I was getting one tap by SKSs, and all you hear was
Oh, yeah.
like, and it was on
Reserve
reserve.
was shit, and Woods too. Woods and reserve, but I think that's because everyone was like, they like there were no labs key cards on the market really, so people were going to get Sturman and Raiders.
Yeah,
on these
and-
maps.
And the money value on those maps is insane as well, because
Yeah,
what they can get from it. So
So is there a way to fix labs then?
Nope.
Does one exist
Make a
in
map
this
better than
real world
labs.
that we live in?
you make you make a map better than labs. Exactly. I think part of it is like it's not even the money for some of them; it's just the allure of labs being the end game map where quote unquote all the best players go, and they want to just kill all the best players in the game.
It's hard because we talk about this
that's part of it.
probably every podcast, maybe every other podcast, and it just seems like we talk through a bunch of different scenarios, and none of us are ever like, "Oh yeah, that's definitely going to work out."
What,
Keep trying,
'cause
though.
I honestly think labs is a fantastic.
Yeah,
I do
me
If you
too.
took
too.
all the cheaters
Yeah.
off of labs, it's an amazing map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truly is the best.
I think it's just
Yeah, but
like
the thing that makes it so good is pretty much exactly why the cheaters go there.
yeah,
because
exactly.
But it's the same but different, right? Like they can easily just vacuum up a shit ton of rubles without doing much work, which I enjoy it because of the PvP, like with the raiders and the fact that they have good gear, and the people who are in labs have good gear. So it's the same, different motives, but the same ultimate result. So if they make it not good and profitable for cheaters, then de facto makes it less enjoyable for anybody else who likes good fights and good gear.
Yeah.
Why did locking or making it level 40 is my next thing is, so when Streets of Tarkov comes out, we're not going to play that as well, right?
We
Because
don't know.
that's going to
Because that's the entrance to labs, right? So you're saying
Right.
that the hackers are going to just sweep their way through, sweep
get
their
to
way through labs, and then sweep their way back out on the way through streets.
Yeah, I'm concerned about it too, Ghost.
With the first iteration, as far as I know, Labs is gonna stay as it is now.
no.
there was
When I talked to Nikita about the labs thing, he wants it the first day Streets is there. He wants to make it, you have to find the 3 entrances or 2 entrances, how many entrances, and get to labs. They want to lock labs behind Streets day one when Street comes out. That
I
would-
believe sometime before the end of the year we'll have to go to connected maps. I'm fairly confident of that. I remember him talking about when was it the games, it wasn't Games Con, it was, I don't know, Go To Game, where they released the first trailer for Streets. Nikita did an interview and he said by the end of the year he wanted the maps to be connected. Which I think by the means what he was saying was if you're going to go to say woods, you'd have to go, and you were in say customs, you would have to go through say, I don't know, insert other map first.
Factory.
Yeah, doesn't really matter which one, but you had to go to a connected map. I don't know. I love the fact that majority of the cheaters are on one map, so that way I don't have to worry about it. But at the same time, I do miss playing labs. I used to only play labs. That's why I was like, Pestily labs. That's why I don't do it anymore because it's just not fun.
Same here. I started playing other maps. Like I found out there was other maps in this game as well, like recently. No, I'm dead ass serious because like it's like tossing a coin and it's not fun. Like dying to a grenade launcher or a cheater. That's it. That's labs.
I have no.
What do you guys? What do you think about them connecting them and making us go through one map to get to another?
Will that just be open world at that point if he does that by the end of the year?
No, it's not open world. It's just like phased worlds. No, it's not even the right word.
Okay.
Instance worlds where it's like
world. Yeah.
Yes.
It's one of those things like it'll make your good days way better, and it'll make your worst days completely unenjoyable. You're just gonna spend your time dealing with whatever bullshit you have to do in between maps that is probably more convoluted, than it's going to be now. But if you could survive through the whole thing, it'd be fucking amazing.
I'm
if you
scared
get killed by
that
cheaters all the time, it's it's like I said, highest highs and lowest lows.
yeah, I'm scared that the game is going to become like a camp fest. How many rats we're going to see? If you have to travel through 3 or 4 maps, the exit campers, the rats, I just can't imagine.
Well, there won't be, assuming that they don't completely drop the ball. Like exit campers it's an easy fix. It's just add multiple extractions. And if it was quote unquote open world or connected maps, then you don't have like there's only 10 minutes left in the raid and I hear gunshots. I know that person has to come this way, because there's not the same necessarily like time limit schedule kind of routing that people are used to.
Like, for example, you would only take the road to customs extract if you wanted to go to customs next. Or there might be a second extract that you can take to go to customs as well. You wouldn't be forced to go through that one extract. So on that side, the extract camping might go down, but I think Alex is more worried about people going, this is a really high traffic flow area, and we know people are going to go through here eventually. And it's the easiest way for me to get loot now.
Yeah, labs, for instance. Yeah.
That's what Nikita wants.
And it's where that balance of you got these guys that want to have this super realistic milsim, role play kind of game, and then you got the guys that want to play Call of Duty, Half-Life, Quake, or Unreal Tournament come in, and then you've got 2 people trying to play the same game. Unfortunately, it's one of those things where everyone's going to get dicked on a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's ways to make it playable by different play styles. There's no reason why they can't make changes that will be suitable for people who want to play tactically, people who want to do like role play type stuff, people who want to play immersively, and people who want to just go buck wild. It's not a small challenge from a game design perspective, but it's entirely possible, and that's why we should be pushing them to do it. And that's kind of why I get so passionate and stuff, because I know it has the potential, and I just want to make sure that it goes that way.
And I hope I'm wrong. Everyone's like, no, it's not gonna happen. I mean, they want to go to that direction of like streets. I hope I'm wrong, and it's not going to be day one, but that's what I heard. So,
But it does make sense, though.
Yeah. I'm just worried that that's gonna happen. The cheaters are gonna have to go through streets to get to labs. So, ish.
13.0 is meant to have streets, and if I'm not mistaken, the main storyline,
yeah,
it's if that happens, then I think Terminal and Brainwork. What was the other one?
Lighthouse.
Lighthouse.
Yeah.
Won't be far behind them, but I don't think they've started on them. So I just think they've got concepts of them. So
Imagine trying to run a stream with a squad, 3 or a 4-man squad, and you lose a guy. How do you reset if the maps are linked? Can they enter the map that you're on, or you have to march your way back for 40 minutes to get your buddy back in?
the only time you're actually going to have to survive 3 raids in a row is going to labs. You have to go through streets, 2 labs, back to 3 streets, and you're out. Every other map you go through, you'll go back to your hideout / inventory stash.
What about your backpack? Like when you go through streets of Tarkov, going into labs, fill your backpack with loot. What about the backpack when you go?
You're gonna have to carry it out. You're gonna have to carry it out.
It's gonna be
No!
Wait,
Oh, it's gonna. Oh no!
what if you're 100 kilos crawling out?
Yeah, and you don't have any more mules left. You're fucked.
This is why I might be the only one, and that's fine. But I'm skeptical that the actual design has ever been done, and not just kind of discussed at a super high level. Like, yeah, we'll connect the maps and around like what the experience is going to be like for players, looting, healing, like going around through the map. I don't think that they've gotten that far, like even on paper.
Like the player experience.
Yeah, like just what the end game, what it's going to look like, right? Like,
okay, like
you would think that Nikita could paint a picture and say, okay, you're going to go from here to here to here, and this is how you're going to have some sort of experience where you can drop your loot off. But no, I don't think
you and I have discussed this before, though. Like, we don't actually think a large amount of BSG staff have played this game properly. Like,
that's obvious. I mean, Nikita says he doesn't play the game, and the last time I saw somebody from BSG play the game, he was the guy that did all of the lighting on interchange. Like, he was the guy that did the entire thing, and it was telling that he didn't know how to put on contacts. Right? Like, and that's like no shade, like, but I'm just saying that says something, right?
It does. It's all well and good to have a vision, but you need to be able to make that vision enjoyable. I know he says the game's not meant to be fun, but there has to be highs as well as lows.
Well, there's a vision as somebody who could envision something, and then there's actually like, let me write down bullet points. Let me figure out what the screens would kind of be like. What would the transitions be? You know, or is it going to be transitioning loot? Is it going to going to a place in the real world and dropping stuff in a box? Like, again, I don't think that they've even gotten far enough to thinking the things that they need to even conceptualize. Like, if it was open world, how do you go back to your stash? If your friend dies, how do you get back with them? They've never gotten that far. They never have. It's so far off. It's a pipe dream.
It's also the fact that, like, they've come up with a lot of ideas that we haven't heard of since they came up with them. Like, do you guys remember when they released 3 images of drops? As in, like airdrops?
Yeah.
And I was like, please no. Anything else? Like, I was legit saying, have a fucking car just break through the sidewall of customs and crash into the wall. And the car alarm going off, like, boop, boop, boop. And you'd go up to the car and loot the car. But it would draw people in because you'd hear the car smash into the wall and the car alarm. Any sort of dynamic event than a fucking airdrop falling from the sky. Because that would just be copy-pasted from every other game we've seen in the last 3 years.
PUBG.
I mean, you pretty much said it clear. It didn't happen in the story. I mean, it's all, kind of blocked out air,
Give me the story. I want to.
Well, there's a difference between no-fly zones and people
no-fly zone.
Yeah, but that's like a
civilian no-fly zone.
Yeah, like you can. There's also like no murder zones. That's like Earth. It's like a no murder zone, but we're in Tarkov. People break the law, right? So it makes sense that people can violate a no-fly order, especially if they're sketchy. You're not going to see a Delta Airlines flight going over, but you might see Prapor and his cronies going to pick up loot for insurance.
In that case, you could just escape from Tarkov. Like, that's the thing. Like, wasn't Division 2, you could get your loot out by like calling in a helicopter, and then like they'd pick your loot and they'd go out and then you can go get more loot.
I love the
Wasn't
idea.
that like a system in that game?
Yeah, but
like,
what if there's no
you're telling me I can call for a
helicopter?
helicopter, then let me the hell out of this hellscape. Right? I could just leave. Bring me the helicopter, drop a ladder, I'm gone.
Nikita
Who are you
did
calling?
talk about.
I don't know. Ghostbusters, the A-Team. I don't know.
Nikita
I don't know about you. I don't have any friends with helicopters.
Oh, apparently some PMCs do.
All right. Nikita did bring up the point about like a GPS beacon you could leave on gear, and that you could get it back like insurance. So it's like insuring something mid-raid. So that might work in place for the lab scene. Like you get into streets and you're like, all right, here's all my good gear from labs. I'll just dump it in this corner, put a beacon on it, and now I'll get it back tomorrow.
So how does
Like
that
a
work?
So then, what does
Dropbox.
open world give you? If it's not like, if you're not extending the kind of risk reward of a raid,
Well, you wouldn't do that.
all
every
you're
raid.
doing is now making it so that I don't get to choose the map, and you have to just run a lot more to get where you need to go, right?
But
I
that's
can like
what open world
UPS
does.
gear back to my stash, like in streets. I can just go to like the mailbox, whatever, and just drop it in, and it ends up in my stash
They
tomorrow.
said that's what Nikita said they were going to do. They were going to have a GPS beacon that you could place on your gear. What were you about to say, Landmark? Sorry.
Like, if you're in an open world, quote unquote, how do you, like, when does that GPS beacon come into effect if people are entering and exiting this raid constantly?
I think this game will never go pure open world. I
Right.
think it's always going to be instance based.
Well, like if it's instance based,
Once the raid's closed off,
yeah,
then
I guess it's just one raid and nobody else can enter. Okay, yeah.
The cool idea I thought was something they should implement is, you know how the car extract on customs? Like you should be able to go up to the boot of the car and open it up like a box, and you should be able to just fill the fucking car up full of all the loot you want, and then shut the boot and then pay for it to leave. Like you don't have to leave with it, but they can take the car full of loot. You know? So it kind of,
Yeah, I mean, we've had that idea for 2 years.
I know, but once they put the weight system in, that kind of stuff on every map would be sick. You know, like you got to
Yeah,
pay
that
for
would.
it, and it would
Yeah.
it would make it so there's like also a drawing factor. Like, yeah, people might extract camp, but you could also camp that area too, because someone might want to use it. Anything that draws people to certain areas to play the game, instead of just sitting in a fucking corner. 'Cause that's why we're gonna have issues like Axel said, Campfest 2020.
I mean, this whole patch has been way more ratty than other patches because of the found and raid changes to everything,
I don't
right?
want to blame someone, but does anyone have a feeling that General Sam kind of trended it?
I always talk about this. I call it the glorification of rat culture.
Yeah.
I
pretty
say
much.
like everyone, like this wipe, there's been this like whole big glorification of being a rat and like killing a Chad with, you know, your fucking Mosin in a bush.
But is that just people coming out though? You know, people are coming out now. It's acceptable to be a rat.
You've memed it into existence, I think.
They were always there.
6 months ago,
So,
I didn't
yeah.
even know what a Chad was.
They were there. You just didn't have a name for
I
them.
think it's just become like a huge meme, and people like taking part in the meme, and it gives them like a, I don't know.
An identity.
It's like yeah, it's like a big, just, you know.
I legitimately
Veritas did a
think
whole
or
song
something.
cover about Mosin Man. I mean, we've known about this forever.
General Sam kind of trended it to be cool, and then and even just like the most recent one about extra camping,
Yeah,
and like how many more extra campers did you see after it? And
I've seen more extra campers this wipe than my entire time playing the game.
Yeah, ditto.
And it's safe to say that whilst he might be a controversial man, he is definitely an influential man, Mr. General Sam. I'm doing trios with him tomorrow, so I'm definitely going to be ripping him apart about this. So,
Does the flea
Make sure you
market
get a public
have anything to do
apology.
with it too, though?
sorry, Tony.
Does the flea market like? I know Smizzle said that like found and raid flea market is the reason for it. Do you think that is it like?
I think that increased it.
I think it
think
increased
that-
the factor that people didn't want to always go into fights because they might have a quest item on them that they need to get out with.
I've definitely gotten into less fights this wipe
Yeah,
than past wipes. I would, if I heard gunfire, I would just try and third party all the time. And now it's like, well, my backpack's kind of full of some stuff that I'd like to keep, so I'm just gonna head to the exit. I'm gonna leave those guys over there. Have fun, boys.
But we also have another problem. We it's so hard to make money just by doing PvP. Like you actually need to loot. You know, like you can call yourself a chat, make a chat, whatever, but you actually need to spend some time to loot as well. Like Even on labs.
because you can't resell the things you find. Like at the beginning of the wipe, you could
Exactly.
resell guns,
Yeah.
and then that led to a way to make a ton of money by just building
Exactly.
gunsmith guns and flipping them on
Or
the market.
bullets for that reason.
I don't even loot
Yeah.
bodies that much anymore. I'll kill a dude, and if he's like kind of out in the open, and I'm like, I'll just literally leave his body there. Won't even touch
So
him.
where does all your money come from, Landmark? Like, where's the what's like the big three
so-
things that you're getting money from? Is it like
Honestly,
Bitcoin farm or what?
Just
Like,
looting the maps. The Bitcoin farm, I played too much for that to even be like a significant factor. Because like
Mhm.
you get what 500K every day over the course of playing for hours and hours. 500K is pretty irrelevant. It's honestly a lot of it's from Shoreline right now. Key rooms, just looting random junk on the map. If I kill a player, I take like scopes, lasers, maybe a helmet, and
Good ammo if they've got it.
if they have good ammo, I'll take it. But that's about it. Armor.
I mean, I
don't
know
touch.
where the best players are getting their money from. It's from PvP and not dying. Like the easiest way to not lose money is much like a poker player. It's like when I was a poker player, there was something that was just hammered into my head, right? It was like a bet saved is a bet earned, right? So from the same philosophy, a gear set saved is a gear set earned. So if you're going in and you're getting 5, 6, 7, if you've got a 70% survival rate like Landmark has, and you're getting out with loot every time, and you're only having to replenish ammo, but you're not having to buy armor, you're not having to buy new guns, you're not having to buy anything. You're just stacking cash every single raid, anywhere from 200K to 2 million, depending on what you make it out with. Because he's just not dying.
Well, it depends.
I'm not trying to simplify you're an amazing player. I'm
No,
saying
no, no.
anybody that is an amazing player, the higher your survival rate, the more money you're going to have.
Well, I would say it depends how you're not dying. If you go in and you're fighting 8 people a raid and spending money on ammo, meds, armor,
Mhm.
a lot of that is hard to recover, even if
Mhm.
you survive. I have raids
True.
where I'll kill the entire map and loot them, and I'll lose money. I'll kill 9 players on a map and lose money because I didn't loot like whatever the rest of the
exactly.
map.
Going to Shoreline, finding one LEDX and extracting, you've made
It's
$1 million
more-
rubles. If you
It's-
go in and you kill
Exactly.
a 4-man squad, all you can take out is 2 guns and some armor and some meds.
Yeah.
And you
If
can only
have
vendor.
decent ammo and you have to repair your armor, you literally lost money. So, but I mean, like I said, I've been saying that forever. How the PvP isn't rewarding, and Nikita made it clear that he doesn't want it to be. Like he doesn't want to incentivize people to run around and to PvP. He wants people to essentially play like rats. I don't think
everything
that's
that
like
they've done this
controversial.
wipe has pushed people away from trying
True.
to get into more fights.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's why people are extract camping, and that's why people are fucking being a rat.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Well, there's also, so you have to think as well, during all these flea market changes, they buffed a lot of the lower tier ammo, like M855A1, 7.62 by 39 BP, have become very, very good, and they're very cheap. So you can also use really cheap ammo and just negate armor for the most part. So like playing that like ratty play style is a little bit more effective now because armor does less than it probably ever has in this game.
We
and
actually
the face shield. The face shield is level 3 now.
we
It's only
discussed
great.
last podcast. We discussed if the helmets and face shields are one armor class. Would that be a really positive change to the game? And we didn't really see many negatives because right now the value of a helmet to the percentage of chance it gives you to survive, unless it's an Alton, doesn't really come into effect. Like Ularch and all those other helmets are kind of like, well, even BT gets through most of them. Like, so unless you're really lucky, a helmet's pointless unless it's like class 5 or more.
Is it an issue with the armor, or is it an issue with the best ammo being easy to get? Because if you're wearing an exfil helmet against 545 tracer ammo, you'll take 5 shots to the head and not die, right?
Yeah, or like 20 center of mass if you hit him in the arm,
Yeah.
arm, leg, stomach, arm, leg, stomach, arm, leg, stomach, arm,
Yeah.
leg, stomach. You can get hit 15 times, literally shot 15 times and be like not much less than half health.
I don't think it's an issue with armor because armor is very strong against the lower tier ammos. It's just that everybody can get the ammo that negates armor.
They pretty much put a pen ammo in for every single caliber in the game, though. Like, literally every caliber now has a bullet that can get through most class 4 armors.
Yeah, and it's $1,000 a round, though. Or
Not
1,000
always.
rubles a round.
No. Well, no, it's not.
Well,
But,
I mean, the cheapest stuff you're going to be getting, you're looking at, what, 700 for BP, 762 BP? A lot of the other things that you have 100 rounds is the limit. It's like, okay, so every 3 hours I get to do one raid with, like, you know, with this good 9mm ammo.
True, with the 9mm. But you see like you see M855A1. The most common rounds in the game right now that I see are M855A1, 7.62 by 39 BP, M61, and M62.
Mm-hmm.
And
those aren't cheap, though.
Well, from traders,
55A1 is.
55A1 is very cheap.
55A1 and 5
Yeah, it's super cheap.
A1 are, but how much is... So BP is still 700 rubles a round. Like, that might be
In the
cheap for
grand
you.
scheme of things, that's cheap, man.
That's cheap
You can craft it in the
You
hideout
guys-
too.
well, I'm sorry, wait a minute. 700 rubles a round is cheap, you're saying?
It's cheap now. It's not cheap to the people that have been playing the game for 2 or 3 years. I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you.
The magazine with ammo is worth more than the gun and the attachments.
Yeah, because we
It
used to buy
matters
it.
more.
995 was $4 a round back in the day, and we were like, man, all right, you know what? I'm gonna really beef it up this time. I'm going with the 995, guys. And people were like, $4 a round. What is wrong with you?
But there's now a flea market, so the value of the purchasing power of 1 ruble has gone down because there's more money in the game. Because you can make more money with the flea market. So 400 rubles back then was probably equating to like 1,500 rubles right now.
But you could make money playing the game like aggressively and not needing an 80% survival rate.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, I had an 80% survival rate and a KD of 20, and infinite money just pouring in. And now I need to play mini games all day in my hideout if I want to. It's easy to make money. I just can't play Tarkov.
I'm just saying 800 rubles now was not 800 rubles before the flea market. Like if you found a graphics card before the flea market, it was what, 50K to therapist? Now it's 300K. Like that, there's the difference there.
Well,
right?
before that, graphics cards had no fucking use whatsoever. But
yeah,
I mean, you can find a pile of bolts and they're 30K.
Yeah, I'm just saying that like there is inflation in rubles, so you can't equate the straight value. But in the grand scheme of things, right now, 762 by 39 is very cheap for what it does. It'll 2-tap level 5 armor to the chest.
The game's economy has gone to shit though. Like,
yes, how much money do you have, bud? Everybody always says I'm bad because I don't have enough money. Like Pestily, say how many rubles do you have in your account, in your main account?
I think I've got 6,000.
Like 6,000 rubles.
Well, I haven't logged in a little bit.
Yes, everybody. I'm the bad one.
Wait, you have 6K?
Yeah, I don't play to make money.
But you need money to play, though.
Yeah,
to some extent, right? Like at some point, it becomes, less exciting when. What's the point of getting level 50 if you don't have money to spend on the shit you just unlocked?
The main reason why
having money is like gear fear. You go over like your gear fear and you move past it, and then you get all excited, like I'm gonna have all this money. You're in that phase of the game, and then you move past it and you realize like it's not that big of a deal.
Legitimately, guys, the only reason why I ever used to keep money was to give it to my community. Like I've given away hundreds of millions of rubles, like dozens and dozens of red keycards. The second they made it that we weren't allowed to give stuff to our community, I haven't really gone over 5 million rubles. Besides for the Starlight charity event, I farmed 25 million in like 3 days, and that was just shoreline and interchange and reserve runs. But like, I farmed 25 million, I blew it all in like a day, just Chad gear, acted like an idiot, had fun, and now I'm back down to like 4,000 rubles. I don't give a fuck.
I remember when I was new, you were giving out key bars. You'd bring us into factory and you said, I'm going to drop this one over here. And I didn't have any keys at that point. I was like brand new to the game.
You tweeted
like,
about
come on in. Yeah, like I was like, I can't believe this dude. He's a legend. So like, he gives me a key bar, and I get to my set. I'm like, all right, fine, get out of factory, whatever. And it's got a full set of shoreline keys. This is like 2.5 years ago. And I messaged him like, dude, do you want these back? He's like, nah, keep them. I'm like, what?
I've got all day to
can't
farm. If
find
I
this
want to
stuff.
make money, I'll make money. It's just,
Yeah.
it's you just
But
do
do
what
but
you
do you
enjoy.
have compare how much fun you have making money? Like what do you want to do? Like what's your perfect experience in the game? And is that the same as what's profitable?
The game's changed for me, man. Like, I pretty much play this game to teach people now. I don't do it for anything else. I don't really care about PvP. I don't really care about anything. I literally just play to teach people and do challenges for myself.
Is the
Like-
dopamine
Okay, but
rush
let's say but
completely
you are
gone for you?
Pestily. What
Pretty
about
much.
all of the thousands of people that are watching, like who don't like who are trying to enjoy the game for the game itself? And like me, I'm trying to enjoy it because at this point I've made the guides and done the research and stuff for what I want to do right now, and I don't know, I'm losing interest, and I know a lot of people are. I know, most people in chat right now won't say so, but there are a lot of people in the community who just aren't enjoying the game the way it is now. And
like I said last week, I think this game is in its best state it's ever been in, like for mechanics and how the game works and all that. But it's definitely changed its enjoyment factor for multiple reasons. Like honestly, I know I get a lot of flack for this, but I most enjoyed this game back in like 0.5, where it was like factory and we would just be running around like crazy and you could hear across the entire map because there was no audio issues because literally there was no walls. Like the audio just traveled straight in direct lines. So if someone spawned at Forklift, I would know they were at Forklift. And so it was just like the Half-Life days where I'd be running around the map trying to position. It was all about positioning tactics and trying to get that. Like even the instant healing, I actually prefer the animations, but even being able to heal straight away, the ability to constantly go back and forth to get that other person out of position, take that shot, that was all very tactical and enjoyable for me. So whilst there's still great fun in this game with other things that I do now, I love sniping in this game. I think it's really bad how the game kind of doesn't promote sniping. But then as soon as you go to stand still, someone goes, "Oh, he's camping. He's extra camping." I'm like, I'm on top of the fucking dome, motherfucker. Like, how the fuck am I extract camping? I can see the whole fucking map. I'm camping all the extracts. Oh, it's so boring to watch. I don't give a fuck. I'm enjoying it. Like, it's like.
So,
But
here's
again,
the
it's
question.
Tarkov. It's Tarkov. There is so many ways to play Tarkov.
Exactly.
So that's the beauty of it.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah.
This is
If
a
I look at
question
that
for
manhole, I'm
everybody, though.
fucked. I'm fucked if I looked at that manhole, though.
This is the question for everybody. Do you still get that dopamine? Do you still get that adrenaline rush when you just had a good raid, you got some good PMC kills, you've got great loot in your backpack, and you get out and you get that countdown 4, 3, 2, 1 at whatever extract, and you get that like, yeah, like you got out of a raid and it still feels good. It still feels good to me when I get out of a raid.
No word of lie. The last
out of a
time,
really good raid, but Pest just basically said, I've played this game so much, I don't get that rush anymore.
I do,
and
but I only
chat's
get it
going nuts
once.
with yes.
I get it once a month these
It-
days.
I think you get it, but not because of the loot. I think people go through a cycle in this game where when you're new, you get a big adrenaline rush from looting and finding like a LEDX, a graphics card. It's really exciting. But after you pick up so many, graphics cards, it kind of wears off, and you start looking for enjoyment in like the PvP aspects of the game.
True.
And that's where the adrenaline comes from. And I know I personally that's what happened to me, and I think a lot of people realize that. And it's like the thing that like is lasting and enjoying is the depth of the combat in the game.
Yep.
And like playing around other people instead of like, so you get the adrenaline from your encounters and not from, hey, I extracted with 2 million rubles and I didn't see anything.
I explained it as I remember it was a while ago and it was on the podcast. It's like the first time you have sex and it's like all very vanilla, like it's just but it's like the best day of your life. But then like, now to get any sort of rush, you got like, someone's got a chokehold on you during it and it's like fucking stabbing you punch you in the back of the head just to get that same thrill. It's like the last time I had a massive thrill on Tarkov where I was like losing my mind was when I got that.
That was going somewhere. Thought that was going
Yeah,
somewhere
this
else.
is really
Last
I thought
time
we were
I had
going
a
to a
huge,
different
massive
place.
thrill
was
on Tarkov.
when I killed 10 of the 11 PMCs you can get to spawn on customs, because I'd never had that opportunity. Like, you always find them dead everywhere. You never actually get the opportunity to kill the entire map. Like, it's, I remember saying it in the video, I'm like, this isn't a good raid. Like, I didn't do anything special. I just was lucky enough to find them all. You know, so that was a really good run for me. And that's the standout raid that I remember. Now, to get the same kind of rushes, it's like I'm getting chased in hardcore mode when I've got like a fucking Salewa that I need for the quest, and it's like I'm bleeding, and I'm like, this, if I use it, I can't hand it in, and like that's the way I have to find and get the same kind of enjoyment. So that's why I do challenges like hardcore.
I mean, you see it in the intro to this podcast with Veritas when he finishes off the Shooter Born in Heaven from pumping station, shoots the guy up on top, right? Finishes that quest, gets up. Woo! Like, that feeling still exists in the game for me, and I think it's still there for a lot of other people, and for a lot of different reasons. Not just like, hey, I got out with 2 million in loot, but like, you just got in some really good fights. You just flanked a bunch of, your whole squad got out safely. You finished a quest, you whatever. I definitely think it's still there. The question is, how do we maintain that, and how is that sustainable over time with the game? Now,
I have to be very clear, by the way. I was saying that story about sex, that was a story I heard from Ghost Freak, not from me. I'm a gamer. I don't have time for that shit. As soon as you have sex,
you made it
lose
out
all your
that I
skills.
need to be choked to have.
I just want to be very clear. I'm still saving myself. Right now, I'm playing computer games. Be clear.
And bet it's not being choked. It's okay.
We'll go into it later. Too much.
It's a different podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, for me, a part of Tarkov died as soon as, I mean, I've been playing it since the beginning, and I've been able and fortunate enough to play with everyone from all over the world. And that part of that got taken away, that I can't play with fucking whoever anymore. It killed it for me. Totally. Like, I still love Tarkov, but not being able to play with Veritas and shoot him in the leg, nah.
And
it's fucked.
To me, kind of that, not being able to give gear to my community, kind of fucking, because that's one of the funnest things. Like, I would give away like 5 red key cards, and people would be like, and I'd be like, I'm so happy I made these guys' day. They enjoy it. This is, I don't know. I'm a giver. I try and help people.
Also, because the grind is so hard. Like, to get a red key card is so hard.
And I've got nothing to do but play the game all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sad about that too. That's a bummer.
If I could tell BSG to change anything, that would be the change. Let us play with our friends and that. But I know the greater good.
Yeah.
It's what it is until it isn't.
Yeah.
Do you still get the rush, Alex? Actually, question. Did that tournament give you guys the rush?
Yes.
Yeah, but a completely different kind of rush.
Doesn't matter. That's as long as it's a good rush. Is it a good rush, Veritas?
Yeah. It was the first time I fucking enjoyed playing Tarkov in a while.
Yeah, can I quickly add to the previous topic that when I lost my sick case, a lot of guys asked me for my reaction, and I just didn't care. I just didn't. And yeah, regarding the tournament, it was super fun, and I think for me personally, at the very end, when you have roughly like 5-10 minutes, that's a huge rush. You need to do your best.
Did your heart rate go up for all of you guys? Did your breathing change? Like in the last 5-6 minutes? Like were you really pumping? Like, I got to get out. So there's a guy there. I have to get this kill. I have to get this kill.
No.
Not at all.
No. That's not, no, because like I played competitive before, so I'm kind of used to it. Like, please don't get me wrong. So I just knew what to do. Like the mindset again. Like, now is the time. You gotta either you do it or you're gonna be last. Like, you gotta do your best, and you have to focus. And if you're just gonna rush it, you're gonna die. You just have to do your best. So you have to have that clear mindset, and you have to breathe.
Yeah, I think same goes for you, Glorious, but I don't remember the last time I was focusing that much on the game.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. You have to, everything's was spot on, but that, adrenaline kick, it wasn't there. At the start, yes, because there was a lot of pressure, and when I heard Pestily was in my chat, I was like, oh, shit. And I just sang a song from Destiny Child. I was like, oh, I fucked up. Like, you know, like, like then I knew I fucked up. But other than that, like, it was just.
You didn't fuck up for singing Destiny's Child. That probably got you more followers than the kill.
But again, like then now they're like, hey, can you sing again? No, like, like this is Tarkov. I don't fucking sing. Like, but yeah,
I had,
it was amazing,
I had one stream where I had the heart rate monitor, and it, no word of a lie, 4 hours of streaming with the heart rate monitor. My heart rate was like resting at like 115. Every time I would talk to chat, it would go up to 130, and then I would get in a 1v5 and it would go to 90.
So it's more stressful to talk to chat.
Sometimes.
Wonder why.
I'm pretty much a just chatting streamer in the Tarkov category now.
So the chat's gonna fucking kill Meritus.
You can try.
Look, we're pretty much at the 2 hour mark. I don't want to keep Glorious up any later than it already is, but if you guys got anything else, we can bring it up. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up. I'll like keep it open if you guys do have any things you wish you were brought up, give you the option.
I want to say, like, this tournament stuff, like, it has been top notch. Like, it was so amazing. Like, it's something else. It's just not joining a raid. You know, like, it has a purpose. Like, it was so nice to be a part of it. Like, it just gave something else. It was so nice.
Glad you
Yeah,
enjoyed
it was
it.
great. I already told you, super professional, really well handled. Did a great job.
Thanks, dude. Well, I'm definitely keen to do one again. I've started the discussion with BSG to make it even better. And I've taken notes from tonight, so I'll read all the feedback from the competitors and see what I can compile, conjure up, and hopefully we can have a big one, nice big one, maybe some drops. Where was the booty shorts and cleavage? What? All right, we'll leave it on that note. Guys, thanks so much for coming along. Thanks for the being a part of the podcast. If you guys are open to more, I'll definitely invite you guys back. Smizzle up top. Alex, Axel, thanks so much, dude. Ghost, Glorious E, Sigma, and Veritas and Landmark. We'll get the links in the chat for them. I won't be doing Among Us tonight. I actually want to get to bed. I've got a bit I need to get done tomorrow. But I definitely want to play Among Us. So if anyone's keen to play some Among Us, we're doing it. All right? I want to murder some of you guys. And then say it was other people. All right? Guys, usual drill. I'll run the outro and we'll send you to someone in the Tarkov community. Landmark, have a great stream. Anyone else still streaming?
Yeah,
Axel
I guess.
and that?
Yep.
All right. I'll
Good night, everybody.
I'll catch you guys later. Bye bye.
Peace.
Take it easy,
Take care.
everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Beth.